Tesla can't sell cars. Breaking news. Tesla can't sell cars. Welcome back to my channel. This is Truth Tom, and all I can do is tell you the truth as I know it. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. And if you wouldn't mind, leave a comment right down there. Now, we got to talk about this whole Tesla can't sell cars thing. You would swear I was one of those anti-Tesla channels, and believe me, there's a lot of them out there. But I'm actually not. But I am a realist, and I see what's going on in the market. No company are selling cars right now. I don't care if you're Tesla, if you're Ford, if you're Rivian, if you're General Motors, if you're Toyota, if you're Volkswagen, if you're BYD. Everybody talks about BYD are crushing it in China. They're not. Audi, they're not. Volvo, they're not. Pick one. Honda, they're not. Nobody is selling cars right now. At least not large amounts of cars. Now, an interesting conversation I had today with somebody was they were talking about Tesla's second quarter sales. They're going to be down. We know this. We know the numbers are going to be a complete disaster. The media will constantly talk about Tesla's numbers being down. Been down too, by the way. But they won't talk about the others. Not directly, anyway. Now, I was in a conversation today, like I said, and we were talking about the second quarter numbers, and then the guy said, Tesla will probably have the lowest number of sales this year, certainly over last year. They're going to be way down over last year. And then he said, but that's going to be it. After that, it's all going to be uphill. I said, I'm not sure about that. And as I do this video, I really mean that. I'm not sure about it. But I have a theory of something that's happening right now. As you know, and I've done enough videos on the fact that Tesla launched Robotaxi. It's actually a week ago today. Today is Sunday, the 29th, 28th, 29th? Sorry, I'm lost. Last week, the 22nd, they launched Robotaxi in Austin. It's been going now for a week. There's between 10 and 15 cars out there. There are also, as you know, a lot of Waymos running around Texas. Now, let's get back to Tesla sales. Tesla can now start producing cars for themselves, not in large numbers. Robotaxi will ramp. We don't know how fast it will ramp. Who knows? Maybe there'll be 1,000 cars in Texas, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Maybe they'll be all over the country by next year, right? Maybe by Christmas. We don't know. But it will certainly require a lot of cars. Now, Waymo are also opening in other cities. Now, I know there are a lot of people, including myself, that will sit here and say, Waymo won't exist. Tesla are going to crush them. They're going to take them out. They're going to be gone. They're going to be history. Let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's just imagine that Waymo continues to scale and simultaneously Tesla are scaling their Robotaxi, right? What is this doing? Let's use Austin as one example. They say there's 100 Waymos now operating in Austin. Will there be 100 Robotaxis in Austin in the next, let's say, 6 months? And then when there's 100 Robotaxis there, how many Waymos will be there? Will there be 150, 200, or will Tesla scale faster? It doesn't matter. I don't care. But let's say a year from now, there's 4,000 of these ride-sharing autonomous vehicles. I don't care if it's Tesla or Robotaxi. What then has happened to the car market? Right? Now, if you're taking the average Waymo ride for, they say, $15. Tesla's coming in at $5 or $6, whatever it is. There is going to be a point where people are going to start questioning car ownership just in that city. If they begin to do the math and they say, okay, I buy a $50,000 car, my payment is $700 a month. They say the average car payment is $700 a month. I have to pay for insurance. I have to pay for parking when I go downtown or when I go to my job. I have to pay for tires. I have to, if you don't have an electric car, you have to pay for oil changes. You have to pay for service. And frankly, even if you buy a brand new car and you get 2 years of free oil changes, there's still maintenance that comes with a car. Car insurance is very expensive. If you sit down and you do the math, this is going to happen, I'm telling you. You are going to rapidly see that there will be more, and I don't know numbers, but there will be more and more people who are either thinking about buying a car or who already have a car saying to themselves, what do I need to own a car for? If my average trip is 5 miles a day, 10 miles a day, 20 miles a day, whatever it is, and I basically go to work, I come home, I go to the store, whatever it is, I have to go to Home Depot, have to go to a doctor's appointment. On average, where the hell do I go? And why do I need to own a car? What happens to the car market then? Now these companies start scaling in other cities in the United States, big cities. Then they start scaling worldwide. Then what happens to the car industry? So my answer to my friend this morning was, I said, I don't know if Tesla sales are going to be much higher next year. You know, as the world embraces Tesla as a brand, of course, they could grow, they could sell more cars. But the real money going forward is not the cars. The real money is the technology in the car. Robotaxi is the profit source. Now, at that point, if Tesla make, let's say Tesla make 5 million cars next year. Ridiculous number, but let's just say they make 5 million. And they have the scalability, and Robotaxi is ramping, and it's in different countries, it's in different places. Certainly, by then, should be pretty well set up in a lot of big cities in the United States. They've got 5 million cars. Nobody wants to buy them. Ford have 5 million cars. Nobody wants to buy them. Who wins? Of course Tesla wins. Because Tesla have a use case for those cars. They have somewhere they can actually place the cars. They also have the option, and at that point I can guarantee you, if I am allowed to purchase my brand new Model Y and put it in that fleet of Robotaxi cars and have that car making money for me while I sleep, if Tesla allow me and others to do that, and they have said they will, do I have a choice to buy another car? I can't buy a Waymo. Waymo's $120,000 and they won't allow me to buy it anyway. Waymo's not a car, by the way. It's a Jaguar with a bunch of LiDAR and cameras on it. Tesla is the only company that really, frankly, doesn't care about selling cars in the long term. They care about building cars. Because they're not building cars, they're building robots. They're building robots that are an asset of value to either Tesla as the owner or to the person who owns the car. These are assets of value. They are income producing assets that are extremely valuable to whoever holds the title. So Tesla doesn't care how many cars they sell. Now, the other thing is, if cars are not selling now, if cars are sitting on lots, as we know they are, there are thousands and thousands, maybe millions of cars nationwide, just in the United States, experiencing lot rot because nobody wants to buy them and they're just sitting on storage. They're sitting in storage lots. They're sitting in stadiums. Old unused stadiums are filled with cars. what happens to those other companies? I believe we are at the peak right now of car ownership. And if we're not at the peak, we're very, very close. Very close. Try to imagine a world where more and more people choose to not own a car. Try to imagine a world where insurance companies are scrambling because nobody is buying car insurance. Try to imagine a world where there's body shops are extinct because these autonomous cars are not crashing into each other. And believe me when I tell you, they're safe. Don't kid yourself. I know somebody's going to comment some stupid thing. Oh, you're going to kill yourself. Teslas are going to go on fire. You're going to burn. Blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. I'm telling you right now, we may be on the cusp of the complete destruction of the automobile industry as we have known it in history. Another thing that's going on right now is Elon Musk. Somebody made a point yesterday or the day before. They said Elon Musk, for the first time, I think it was yesterday or the day before, he didn't make a single political tweet or post on X. The reason for that is Elon Musk is in what they call the Tesla community, they lovingly call war mode. He is in war mode. He is so highly motivated with this success of Robotaxi and a car being delivered to a customer's home autonomously. Drove across town by itself with nobody in it to a customer's home who purchased the car. He is so overwhelmingly excited with this that he is in war mode. I can guarantee you right now, as the sales numbers come out, just, 5 days from now, 6 days from now, the last thing on Elon Musk's mind is how many cars we sold and how many cars are we going to sell. He is full-blown excited about many things, but I'm just going to name a couple. Robotaxi. I can guarantee you he is eating, drinking, sleeping, partying, whatever, working out with that Tesla AI team. He is all in with those people. Consequently, he is also all in with the Optimus people. And as you already know, the plant in Texas is shut down right now. And it was planned to be shut down during the 4th of July holiday weekend because they are retooling it. People believe that it's for a new version Model Y. It could be the affordable vehicle. Some are saying that it's also partially Cybercab, or both or all three. But there's one thing for certain. It is ramping up down there like you would not believe. He does not care about automobile sales. He really does not. And he has said it forever. He has told people, don't invest in Tesla if you think we are a car company. We are not a car company. Selling cars is not what Tesla does. And, you know, when we see the media headlines, the mainstream media say Tesla are going to get crushed by Ford and GM and BYD, and we're sitting there going, yeah, bring it on. Like, we're so far past that, it's not even funny. So in the short term, Tesla are going to continue to manufacture cars and sell cars. In the not so short term, many of those cars will be owned, operated, and sent out to a fleet by Tesla themselves. Other people, like myself, like I said earlier, will be able to purchase cars, put them in the fleet, and also have them as our personal cars. And while all this is happening, by the way, there's another vehicle coming that's going to cause even more disruption, which is the Tesla Semi. They've already done the tests. The enormous savings with the Tesla Semi are barely even being talked about in the mainstream media. But the companies that are running them, Pepsi as an example, PepsiCo are running Tesla Semis as we speak. They are running the data. They are running the numbers. And they're like, this truck is going to save us a fortune. just on cost, current cost. Forget about when they're operating autonomously. And by the way, Tesla expects to make about 50,000 Tesla semis a year. That's not a lot of trucks. Now, most of those will be sold in the continental United States, maybe Canada, maybe Mexico, but maybe some in Europe. I don't know. One thing is for sure, that the Tesla Semi can operate anywhere in the world because it doesn't have a right-hand drive or a left-hand drive. It has a center drive. The steering wheel is right in the center of the truck. So you can't take it to Europe and say, oh, you got to drive on the other side of the road. It's not legal here. They already fixed that problem. So that's coming online. And that's going to have major disruption. And by the way, in the United States, I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that we sell something like 250,000 semi-trucks every year, or they're purchased every year. That's not an enormous amount. How long does it take for that to be disrupted? Where does Peterbilt go? Where does Freightliner go? Where does Volvo go? You know, where does DAF go? Where does Iveco go? Where does Hino in Europe? Where do all these companies go when the Tesla monster? I actually call Tesla Semi the sleeping giant, because it's also an enormous disruptor. And then on top of all that, you have Tesla Optimus, which version 3 is already out. And what's odd to me is you're not seeing any pictures of the version 3. Or the generation 3, Gen 3 Optimus. I think they have it figured out. I don't think they want to release photos. I think they're manufacturing them. And as Elon said, it's possible that they would have 10,000 of these operating in the factories by the end of the year. I believe that's probably pretty close to correct. So nobody's going to want to buy cars. I'm telling you right now. The car industry is about to get massively disrupted. You know, right before I started, and I'm sorry, it's getting a little dark here. Right before I started making this video, I was watching a guy. There's a guy named Brandon on YouTube. I forget the name of his channel, the car guy or the car guru or whatever it is. But he's a used car salesman. He's got a great channel, actually. I'll try to remember it, and I'll put a link in the description. But he has stopped buying used cars for his lot. I think he's got a lot in North Carolina. He can't sell the ones he has. He's never done that before. He's selling cars for $3,500, $4,000, $5,000. And he did say that when he gets a car now, and the cars that he has, he's dropping them. Like, he'll have a car a week. Typically, he would keep it like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before he drops the price. When he has a car a week now, he drops the price. And he drops it by $500. A lot of times, that's his profit. This young man is going down in flames because people are not even buying $5,000 cars. Now, you can call that the economy. You can call it whatever you want. But there is a very large segment of the population now are very desperately trying to figure out ways not to own cars. And Waymo's coming. And Tesla Robotaxi are coming. They're here. They're growing. And they're going to spread like wildfire. Mark my words. Thanks for watching.